This is Garrett Western, and we're back here at the Ferrari House. We finally are wrapped up with most of the underfloor and have started subfloor installation. We did Aquapex for our water lines. You can see there's a hot water line where we actually we insulated all the hot water lines. Cold water lines are uninsulated. Not sure if the insulation is totally necessary since we are heating and cooling the crawl space. We have all the duct work run through the crawl space that is also insulated, and again the crawl space is heated and cooled to bring in fresh air and keep the moisture under control. And by doing that, running the duct work through that conditioned space, we actually increased our efficiency on the house by 15% over what we were with a HVAC design that was run through the attic. So it greatly reduced the cooling loads of the house. The water system, we use the Uponor brand of Aquapex, and you can see we have manifolds underneath the bathrooms and kitchen areas where the water line split off the main trunk line as opposed to a manoblock system. I prefer the Uponor system because it doesn't use any crimp fittings. They use a sleeve that you actually stretch out and put over the fitting itself, and then the whole thing shrinks back down on its own. It has a memory. So I've never actually had any kind of a leak occur with this system. We've started installing the subfloor today. We got about maybe a third of the way. We're using the Weyerhaeuser brand of subfloor, which is called Edge Gold. And you can see it looks kind of like OSB. This particular subfloor has a 90-day no sand warranty, so if we were to get a lot of rain, which we have been lately, hopefully it's done for the year, but if we were to get a lot of rain or snow or anything like that, the edges shouldn't swell, so we shouldn't have any kind of sanding that we have to do before the hardwood installation. This subfloor also comes with a 50-year warranty against defects, which typical 1 1/8 plywood does not. This subfloor is very dense, so it is very heavy, wears you out by the end of the day. But I've been pretty happy with this product so far. You can see these marks that are on it. That actually came from the factory, so it gives us our layout. Since we're 2-foot centers on our joists, we have triangles that we follow, and that's where we screw all the way down the line, so that does speed up installation. The other thing about this subfloor is it's very precise on its cuts, much more so than typical 1 1/8 plywood. I've been really happy with the products we've been getting from Weyerhaeuser so far, and really look forward to the wall framing to see how that works out. We did a borate treatment on the portion of the framing so far. We did a borate dilution of 1:1 with we hit all the stem walls and 3 feet out on any of the framing members, so anywhere where we were touching concrete from our pier blocks up, we hit all of our pier posts, mud sills, ledger boards, floor joists, and anywhere where a girder ties in to the ledger we hit with the borate at a 1:1 concentration. We even hit the underside of our plywood before installing it with the borate with the 1:1 dilution, and use those sheets anywhere where we were touching the foundation stem wall. I'll go back through and I'll hit the rest of the framing with a dilution of 5:1 borate after everything's installed. But I wanted to get a heavy concentration on anything where we potentially would have termites coming up, and hopefully that'll stop them from being able to tube up over any of the treated material. The borate's pretty nice because it's a no VOC compound. It's non-toxic to us, but termites can't metabolize it, so they don't actually eat anything that's been treated with the borate. Speaking of VOCs, we're using a different type of subfloor adhesive than what I've used before. It's a very low VOC adhesive. So far, been impressed with it. It seems to have worked out well. I didn't quite know if it would have the holding power of what I normally use at the beginning of the day, but it seems like at the end of the day it's dried up pretty well and sticks pretty good. So we did go ahead and screw everything as opposed to nail it, just in case the adhesive didn't perform as well as we'd like. and it should keep them from having any squeaks in the floor in the future. I'll have more for you guys later on.